Hey everybody, it's Julie here. Thanks for joining me for another Bible journaling process video. Today we're in Genesis 3 and we're looking at God asking, "Where are you?" to Adam and Eve. And this was a sermon that I heard today and it just really made an impression on me, and so I wanted to journal it. So we're going to use some acrylic paints to make a background and some ephemera from Tim Holtz. This was a pack that I got from Hobby Lobby, but I'll link it. And some pattern paper. I think this is an old Close to My Heart, no longer available, but I'm not sure. I have so much pattern paper around. Illustrated Faith word fetty and some washi tape. And that's all that we're doing. It's a very simple page. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and get started. So I'm working with the fact that I've got a page opposite, and so I need to work with that color scheme. The colors that I'm using, the dark greens and the golds and the browns, aren't my favorite colors to use. If you've seen many of my videos or my posts, you know that I like a lot of bright, colorful pinks, blues, purples, and greens, but sometimes these are the colors that you need to fit the message. And especially since I'm working with the page opposite, then that's what I'm having to go with. So I'm just using a paint scraping method where I'm scraping with a card, just gently scraping across the page, and I'm keeping in mind where I want to do my journaling and where I want to keep the text open and what I want to be able to see. So I use my three colors and I just randomly put them down, and then I come back over it with white to mute it some, and then again with a baby wipe to just soften it and blend it some, and then I just run that over the rest of the page a little bit. You can see how that just nicely blends it. It almost gives it an autumn leaf look. So that turned out real nice. It was prettier than what I was expecting, so I'm pleased with that look. And I have enough space over there for my journaling. It is a thick page because of what I have on the back side of the page, so I want to be careful with that and be aware of that. I'm going to go ahead and underline the verse, and I'm using this pattern paper to cut out the letters, and this is really what takes the longest in this whole page. It's a very simple process. I could use my Cricut to cut out these letters. I could use a die cut, or I could just simply stamp the letters. I could use the alpha stickers, but I just decided this time to cut the letters out. I wanted that to be my focal point, because the phrase, "Where are you?" when God asked, "Where are you?" to Adam and Eve, the point here was God knew exactly where they were. He didn't need them to answer where they were, but he wanted them to answer that. God is an intimate God, and he wants us to communicate with him. He was inviting that response from Adam and Eve. And the sermon today that I heard, he emphasized that aspect, the intimacy of God, and the fact that that question was not about the location where Adam and Eve were, but more on the condition of the heart. Where is your heart? It's not about where are you in the garden, where are you hiding, but where is your heart, and what's the condition of your heart? And that's what he's asking us all the time. What is your condition? And that's what concerns God. And I just thought that was a beautiful message. So you see me here, I'm just playing around. I got the letters cut out, and I just did a fussy cut, a real simple cut process. And I'm flipping them over to see if I wanted to use the back side, the color, which has a little bit of burgundy, but I decided just to stick with the gold side. And then I played around to see which flower or which image I wanted to use, and I ended up with this tall sunflower look. Or is that a chrysanthemum? I'm not quite sure, but the colors matched. And I put the U at the bottom because I've got all that space down there. And that balances out. I am going to outline the letters so that they can pop out from the background a little bit better. I really want those letters to be the focal point of the whole page. So I just outline that, and that's with my Illustrated Faith Precision pen, and I just adhere the flower on. Now I'm going to do my journaling, and I just emphasize when God was asking Adam and Eve where they were, he already knew the answer. So the journaling is a great place for you to just put your sermon notes, to put what's on your heart, to put what's been going on in your life, what God is speaking to you through the verse. And I'm using the word fetty here. I pick out the word grace up at the top because that's what it's all about, grace. That's what God exhibited in the garden with Adam and Eve, was grace. I used some black and white, not black and white, but black and gold washi tape. That black just really anchors all this color. And I like having those crosses on there because it's in Genesis 3 where God gives the promise of a Savior, of a Redeemer. And so I wanted to have that cross element on this page too. I stamp where it says sermon by and the date, and I put the pastor's name who spoke. We had a guest speaker who did this. It was actually a youth pastor who came and visited and spoke. But as always, a youth pastor often just speaks to all the adults too. And the word fetty that I pick here, I'm playing around. I pick love and mercy, but then I go back to draw near, because that's what God was asking for Adam and Eve to draw near, both in location but also in the intimacy, and that's what he's asking of us. So thanks for joining me today in this process. Hope you enjoyed it. Like or subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.